triple tier 0, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, Blade has actually transcended. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another very peace, love, and happiness tier list update in honkaistarrail with the release of Hyacine as of this day of recording. You guys have probably seen the Memory of Chaos statistics that we released probably 2 or 3 days back. We went through over how this Memory of Chaos was actually the easiest Memory of Chaos ever, with record-breaking clear rates as well as average cycles from everyone in their mounts. Right? Everybody literally improved. Let's take a look and see how this tier list has changed with the inclusion of Hyacine. So we're gonna take a look at the actual tier list itself, and then we'll take a look into the changelogs provided by Prydwen, right? So bada boom, bada bang, bada bang. Wow, and there it is. And there it is. Here debuts as the tier 0, triple tier 0, ladies and gentlemen. Literally debuting as a triple tier 0 for Memory of Chaos, Pure Fiction, Epoch Shadows at E0S0, which basically means she is the second ever unit, I believe. Is this the second ever unit? Or is... Oh, wait, never mind. 3B is 3B. Okay, my bad, guys. Okay, but essentially, she is going to debut as the triple tier 0 by the power of McDonald's and fat fuck. She's gonna be basically soaring through the placements for all 3 endgame content in Memory of Chaos, right? Everything else, I don't think there's been too big of a change. Let's scroll down and see what else actually changed. Oh, I mean, is this news? Who the fuck is playing Avenging, guys? Like, nowadays, as long as your name is Abundance, I think it's gonna be the way to go, right? And we can't have like 4 tier 0s, right? Which honestly, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, mine needs to go down. Like, with all due respect, E0S0 Phaidei, he needs to go down. I don't think it's gonna be comparable to the other 3 just because he doesn't get as much love in terms of the best of team comps. I think Aglea is gonna be popping off. Castro is definitely popping off. I would dare say right now, like literally with the current environment right now, with Hyacine 3B Castro's RMC, she might just be a head above the others at this point, because the Memory of Chaos environment is so shield for Castris, it's crazy. And even in Epoch Shadows and Pure Vision, I feel like she's just gonna be completely popping off. Diorda just got ourselves the Anexa upgrade, unless, who knows, right? Maybe Phainon is Phaidei's upgrade. Like, law accurate, that would make sense, right? Because they're both like fuck buddies in game. Alright, so maybe both of them can help one another, and then this will allow mine to fall. But from where it stands right now, I do believe that if I can only have 3, I'm not saying that mine is bad, but if I can only have 3 tier 0, then I will pick Aglea, Casuis, as well as Diorda. Any objections? No? Okay, let's move on. Tier 0.5, we have ourselves Akron, Anexa, Rapper, which I don't think too much has changed. And then this is Anexa, Argenti, Jade, Jiao Qiu, Ranmei, fuck you, and then eventually drop down a slot to be tied alongside with Gallagher. Going into this over here, Boot Hill and Firefly is gonna be cementing at tier 1 at this current category. Everything else relatively unchanged. I don't think... Whoa, Blade! Whoa, Blade has actually transcended. He has arisen out from the ashes of tier 2. Bro, who would have imagined the day where Blade is literally out tiering Jingliu, guys? That is just fucking crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fucking crazy. I'ma give it a bump, man. I feel like Blade, honestly, his rise up is about to come to be crazy good. Because the thing is, this is not even his final form. This is not even Sung Ji-woo's final form. Like, he literally just got like a level 10 upgrade. He's not even level 100 yet. And by 3.4, bro, I can't wait for 3.4. And when 3.4 comes out, the bars for Blade, Jingliu, Kafka Zero, I really sincerely hope by that patch, all the rework characters go into tier 1. I really hope so. Because if after that rework, and they're still tier 2, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? I genuinely hope that everybody that gets a rework goes into tier 1. Not to say that it will decrease their overall value in honkaistarrail, because let's just be real, having more alternatives is always better for the community, right? It doesn't really matter if they're like sharing spots, especially if we're not talking like tier 0, but like if the more people are viable in the same tier to create the content in that amount of like a performance, I think it's always going to be good because you have a lot more flexibility. And at the end of the day, if players can look past the fact that, yeah, Memory of Chaos is always just going to be a shielding environment to shield all of the raid up units outside of this singular instance, and if those units can still perform relatively around this place, I think it's better for the game, right? So what if Blade is the same tier as Firefly after the buff? So what if Blade is the same tier as, okay, maybe Aircon is a little bit crazy, but like you get what I'm saying, if they're all within the same like colleagues, I think it's good. I think it's good. I do wonder how the buffs are going to be. If I'm going to be guessing, the biggest benefactors for the 3.4 rework buff, I am probably gonna guess Blade. Yeah, because as you guys have seen from the past couple of reruns as well as the banners, right, we have been getting Wind and Quantum every single patch. Think about it, right? We got ourselves the Annexa, we got ourselves the Hyacine, we got ourselves the Cypher. Our collab is gonna also be Wind and Quantum, which is Saber and Archer. And out of all these elements, Blade is the only one that sort of fits in, aside from Silver Wolf. Silver Wolf, I'm not too sure how she's gonna match up because I'm a little bit concerned that they are scared of over-buffing Silver Wolf, right? Because what if they over-buff Silver Wolf and she's like fucking stronger than Cypher? Bro, that would be crazy. So I'm a little bit concerned that just from the perspective of like, you know, business, right? Standing on business, right? They might just not make her as strong so that she doesn't steal the spotlight away from Cypher, which they are very, very close in. Cypher is second half and Silver is coming right after. And also, we are gonna be getting Archer as the quantum DPS. So yeah, that's me personally. That's me. So out of all these 4 units, I know this is not really related to a tier list. I'm guessing Blade will be the biggest benefactor, followed by Silver Wolf. Then Kafka and Jinliu, I think we didn't let them cook the wheel. I'll be very, very surprised if they literally make Jinliu become a god. Because it's been a long time since I've ever seen her even being relevant, right? So it'll be very, very welcome. I feel like Kafka, even after the buff, she's probably not gonna be fully cooked yet. She's like 50-75% raw. Because we want to wait for that DOT unit. Alright, because like for example, right, if Tag don't want to play Hedges out again because he loves DOT, I feel like it's coming, guys. Because we already know for so long since DU was out, and I've said this like 10,000 times by now, there's gonna be a physical DOT violent girl. We have already seen her buffs in DU. So what I'm guessing is Kafka will act as the bridge, the glue, the factor which binds together the upcoming physical DOT alongside with the entire DOT archetype. So I hope that the mechanics that she's going to be introducing with is increased DOT frequency to proc them, or simply from the buff that we have seen from the event, just make DOT crit. I think it's kind of lazy to just make DOT crit, but hey, damage is damage, and at this point, anything for the DOT bros. That is pretty much gonna be my overall thoughts. Everything else, I don't think there has been too big of a change, if at all, right? Because the main update was only gonna be for Memory of Chaos. Pure Vision, I think there's been no update, and Epoch Shadow, we're gonna get a refresh next week, so that's gonna be there. But we just know for a fact that Hyacine has achieved tier 0 in all 3 categories. I think the Aventry nerf is justified. I think Fu Xuan, damn. Okay, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, everything else is just more or less the same, right? And then Blade had a glow up. So let's take a look at the changelog over here. In this update, we're adding Hyacine, blah, 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 blah. Enter the fray, and we are well positioned to shine alongside the likes of Castries and other Hades. This is a lie, by the way. It's really not that crazy. If you have tried running Hyacine with Phaidei, especially at E0, S0, like Deadass, I would just run Gallagher. It's not worth it. So for Phaidei mains, I really personally, and I'm speaking with this shirt, by the way. I have this shirt, right? I'll personally just stay with Gallagher. I will only really recommend Hyacine for the Castries vertical investments, because if you want to pull for Blade, I think that's justifiable, especially since Blade is getting a buff, right? But we don't really know what the buff is going to be yet. So me personally, you are in 3 camps. Castries means super W. Blade means minor W, but I don't think there's any harm in waiting for Blade's rework and see how his kit is going to look like. And then Phaidei means yep. But we're also out of our competition. Great healing, solid increase of personal damage, enough to earn her tiers in all placement. I think that's completely fair. As usual, we'll revisit after another win and revisit. Don't have to. I think she's completely W for it. The first ever version 3 sustain. If the first ever version 3 sustain can't even get a tier 0 alongside Lingsha and fucking Hue, I think this is cooked, bruh. There's no need to revisit. Completely fine at tier 0. Let it be there. Also, I think I've said this enough. Hue sustain capabilities, I swear to fucking God, if you do not have global passive, bro, alright? Okay, let's move on. One of the biggest benefits of Blade is gonna be... Okay, one of the biggest benefits of Hyacine is Blade seeing more and more success thanks to the ability to play not only with solo units HP, but also alongside characteristics. Raising Blade performance, I think this is good. This is nice. Placing on the watch list to move up further in all 3 game modes is completely fine. Bro, I think the 3.4 tier list update is gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be so crazy because we are literally gonna be having 7 brand new units. 4 reworks, 2 collabs, 1 new unit. All in one patch. It's gonna be so fucking crazy, and I'm gonna be overworking again, but it is what it is. In addition, we're also expanding Blade's rating to include a support DPS. Gains a lot from E0, S0, Hia. Yo, intern. Lock in, little bro. But her S1 is where he really gains. Absolutely. We want to wait and see how Blade performs. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, I really believe that even though Hyacine can benefit Blade by a lot, right? I really wouldn't mind just waiting. Like, okay, Blade mains, think about it. You have waited your entire lives for Blade to be good. And he is literally about to get a buff next patch. So what if you just waited that little bit longer to confirm 100% plus shop guarantee Sumpa upgrade? I want to get a Sumpa upgrade first, right? So I would personally want to wait a little bit to see exactly what are the buffs that Blade is going to be getting, so we can sort of determine if Hyacine is going to be worth the pool. But if you guys don't want to wait, I think that's fine, because just from the kit right now, before the rework, she is going to be pretty synergistic. But that being said, the S1 is very, very powerful on Blade, and without the S1, it's a little bit sussy, right? So in our previous MOC, blah, 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 blah. Luocha as one of his units is diminished. Nobody cares. Avenging while following through our watches from time to time. Avenging. Oh, wait, by the way, to those of you guys who picked Luocha with this, yeah, if you picked Luocha with this, I have no idea what to say, bruh. Like, why would you do that? Avenging, we're following through on our watch list from last time and moving Avenging down a tier. Many of the top DPS right now prefer. I mean, this is also completely. It's not because Avenging is weak, it's just because a lot of the DPS right now, they don't really care about Avenging shield, so that's gonna be fine. Argenti and Jade, blah, 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 blah. I think it's okay. I think Argenti can just fuck off eventually, alright? We're giving him way too much leeway. Is it Sarah? Yo, and is this Sarah? Is this Sarah telling you, yo, you cannot move that Argenti or I will kill you in-game, right? It's time to drop the roll now. Budo didn't have the greatest time, blah, 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 blah. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's still okay. We need to see the environment. If it's gonna be, because the thing is, if you are gonna be running Budo, you're most likely gonna be really proof of Fuke. You have run Mei. It's not that bad. And Budo performed ridiculously well in like the physical weak stages where you can just one-shot the bosses. As you can see from our previous MOC 12, the little elites, right? He legit one-shots them. Even in a stage where he summons like 3 mobs, I think Budo is still extremely powerful. So, W Budo. Additional changes, I think this is okay. I still think she's very comfortable though. But in terms of utility, in terms of the healing, in terms of the damage, not gonna be able to compare. So it is what it is. So pretty quick little update from Memory of Chaos. Nothing too nuclear of a change, if I can say so myself. I would just say, I think we're just gonna focus this entire tier list on the strongest sustain ever, question mark. And with that, we have come to the end of a very fast little update with regards to Hia's inclusion in the tier list alongside with little Ika. Very cute, very W. I hope that she has a lot more room to grow going forward into version 3.4 and all of the little updates, right? So the word of the day is going to be tier 0. Join this, join Discord, join all the best. God, see you guys back. Also, wait, I realized I actually need to do this more. Do you guys know you can actually get 10% off gamers using code POKE? 10% off gamers using code POKE. And by the time this video goes out, I hope that there's still free shipping using 10% off for code POKE at very good. Okay, chat, remind me to do this more, guys. We need to plug in more gamer subs, right? Because if we hit 10,000 sales, we'll get a mommy cup. We'll get a mommy POKE cup, right? So we need more gamer subs, more gamers. Save mommy POKE, right? And get our very own gamers right here at Activation G at code POKE with 10%. Very good. Okay.